Hello and welcome back to the Villa Filler podcast. I'm here, I'm riding solo today. Dan is currently working, but this is a really exciting rumour that appeared last night. Suis Suarez to Aston Villa. But before we get into that, guys, first of all, we've got a message from today's video sponsor. Dan, have you ever wanted an app that collates all the scores and news from your favourite teams in the whole of Europe, Dan? Have you ever wanted that?
Is a constant need of mine, mate, because there's always news. That's the thing, is that we love this game. We love the industry of football because it's ever changing, mate, and you need a place to keep up with it all.
And we have that place exactly for you
sure
guys.
Do,
it's One Football. Guys, this app is it's life-changing.
It's great because I actually I use it. So it's great because it's where I pull the stats from for the podcast. So it's like there's all that new stuff as well, but you can track all of the players' stats from like across Europe for all the different leagues, for continental football as well. It's a dream. It's a dream. And the best part, mate, is it's free.
It's free, and guys, it would help support the channel massively if you check that One Football using the link in the description down below. We promise you guys won't be disappointed. So if you haven't checked out One Football, make sure you do so in the link below. It's where you'll be able to keep up to date with all the latest football news, scores, highlights, anything you can imagine is on One Football. So make sure you check that out using our link in the description. Now, this is, I've got to be honest with you guys, long-time viewers of the channel will know the format of the transfer rumour mills. We've got a lot of new subscribers. So how we used to do it back in the day when we were kind of struggling for views and stuff is, when there was a player that was linked, we would then pair it with like a dream player of Dan and ours that we'd pick, and we'd kind of analyze. There'd be no links, but we kind of analyze and explain how they'd fit into the system. And you know, we'd seen some crazy names banded about. I think the first big one we did was Weston McKennie, because I really wanted Weston McKennie to join Aston Villa. And that kind of helped the channel grow quite a bit. Since then, we'd kind of ditched that because I just feel like, you know, some of the transfers that we've been linked with since then have been a lot more exciting. So we haven't needed to kind of clickbait you guys in. But, you know, Dan and I were talking about Suis Suarez only a few days ago and saying, oh, should we go back to the old format and just have a fun episode talking about Suis Suarez, because, you know, he's one of the best strikers of this generation. And with his contract obviously being up in the summer and he's not having a fantastic time at Atleti right now, Dan and I thought it'd be really fun to do an episode on him. Now, I mean, the news broke last night on Gerard Romero's Twitch channel that Suis Suarez has reportedly ruled out offers to join both Palmeiras and Corinthians and also Atletico Mineiro, all based in Brazil, I believe, including an offer based in Arabia to focus on an offer from Steven Gerrard to join Aston Villa. This is crazy, honestly. Like, if you take the rumor like just strictly at face value, then like it's crazy. These kind of names do get bandied about. There were times during our first season back where we were linked with the likes of Edinson Cavani, and of course we did a transfer rumor mill on that. And you know, it happens. It's the transfer rumor mill. Of course, you know, I'm here to cover it for you guys. But there is a part of me now, you know, call me deluded in the comments if you disagree. There is a part of me that legitimately thinks that this may happen. Despite being 34 years old, despite only scoring 8 and assisting 1 so far this season, for Atleti, Suarez isn't having the best season. And there are some reasons to explain why. And there are so many different avenues and roads that we can go down on this debate that I'm sure we'll get into, and you guys will get into in the comments as well. And I'm sure that this video alone will warrant a follow-up video with Dan, because whilst I know how he feels about this, of course, it's great to have the debate on the channel. So for sure, let us know if you want to know Dan's thoughts in the comments as well, and we can kind of do a follow-up on this. Now, Suis Suarez left Liverpool to join Barcelona all them years ago. And it was a transfer that made sense. Didn't manage to win the league with Liverpool. Barcelona came knocking. They were, you know, almost at the peak of their powers. That Messi, Suarez, Neymar trio is just fantastic. One of the greatest we'll ever see. And the first first season, I think he struggled a bit, just adapting to playing with a completely different front three, not necessarily being that main man out of the sort of the Sturridge, Suarez, Coutinho partnership. Scored 16 goals and assisted 13, which is totally respectable when Lionel Messi and Neymar Jr. are in the side. But then, we see the best of Suarez in that next season, 40 goals, 16 assists, absolutely fantastic. And as things have evolved, and of course, we all know the mess that Barcelona are in financially. They're in over $1 billion of debt. They've just brokered a deal for a loan of $500,000 as well. $500 million, sorry. And yeah, they're in a lot of financial troubles, and they have been for a long time. And the writing was on the wall. And essentially, what Barcelona did, they cut his contract short. It was quite a bad situation, really. There was a severe lack of communication on Barcelona's front, and that kind of left a massive fire in his belly, because he's had his contract terminated at 32. They kind of used that as the excuse. Listen, you're getting on a bit. We're paying you $300K a week, all this kind of stuff. So what does he do? He goes and joins Atletico Madrid on a free transfer, scores 21 goals, assists 3, helps Atleti win the title. Arguably one of the most important transfers that Atleti have made over the past few years. And winning that title, winning La Liga in that season was massive, because Real Madrid and Barcelona, of course, were having their slight decline, but Atleti really had to take advantage of that. And not long ago had they just recently sold Antoine Griezmann to Barcelona for the best part of £90 million, then getting back on loan. They just ran magnificently, really. And this season, it almost feels wrong to call it second season syndrome, but there are a few factors as to why Suarez hasn't been performing as you would necessarily expect. And of course, one of them that you can contribute it to is the age, being 34 years old. However, I think, we saw some crazy performances last season from Suarez. And whilst the goals weren't necessarily off the chart in terms of numbers, 21 goals and 3 assists is fantastic. And there are certainly not numbers to scoff at. But it's not quite the heights of the 40-goal season that he had. Atleti have kind of stockpiled quite a few strikers, or forwards at least. And, the signing of João Felix, who is a fantastic, I don't even want to say young talent now, because he must be like 21, 22, like my age. But Felix is a fantastic player. And when he first joined, he wasn't necessarily getting the minutes that he deserved, or especially when you consider the transfer fee they paid. They paid about 80 million euros, I believe, to get Felix to Atleti. But the recent emergence of Angel Correa as well, who's been fantastic. He previously had been deployed more as a winger, but he's kind of occupying that number 9 position now, and it's just fantastic. He's having a great season. But yeah, the Atleti have kind of been stockpiling these strikers, and there's been a slight change in the system as well. A lot of last season, if you watch Atleti in the Champions League, you'll know they are very Brexit 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2 out of possession. And I think that the 4-2-3-1, with Suarez being that little bit older and not necessarily having the pace that he once had when he was at a Liverpool or a Barcelona, the 4-2-3-1, you have enough players around you to support and to kind of lift you up, help you with that off the ball work, when out of possession, which I think is really important. And one thing to preface is, if Luis Suarez does come, we're not getting the work rate that we get out of both Danny Ings and Ollie Watkins. It's natural. It happens with all fantastic strikers. You look at Cristiano Ronaldo. He's gone from being, a lightning fast winger to adopting himself to that sort of clinical box finisher, and that's just what happens with age. And Suarez, very much, he's always kind of been, that guy in the 18-yard box. It's inevitable that he's going to score if you feel him. No pun intended there. But yeah, he's one of them players where he's kind of evolved into that. And calling him a tapping merchant is far too disrespectful, because every goal counts. But yeah, I think it would be, first of all, important to preface that I don't think we're going to get the energy levels that we once had, which is completely fair. However, if Suarez can come in and still contribute 10 goals, however many assists, which assists are also a big part of his game as well, guys. I mean, in his penultimate season at Ajax, 35 goals, 16 assists, absolutely fantastic. I think he notched a record season high of 16 assists at Barcelona. Again, that was in his 40-goal season. And you know, when you're you have to be selfless when you're playing with the likes of Neymar and Messi. So you know, the assist statistics are up there as well. For Liverpool, 110 appearances, 69 goals, 23 assists. He's just a wonderful striker. I can't believe I'm sat here and talking about Luis Suarez joining Aston Villa. It's completely crazy. And there are people that have their reservations, and that's completely fine. It almost puts to bed the whole Watkins Ings dilemma, because you play none of them and you play Luis Suarez, which is crazy. Honestly, you know, reuniting Coutinho and Suarez, getting the band back together, the Liverpool boys who almost won the title. You know, there's going to be so many jokes made about that, and that's kind of going to be the narrative from the media. But interestingly, you know, Christian Perslow, he did that piece with Sky Sports before the Manchester United game, and he clearly said that, you know, look, when he was asked about the transfer policy, he said clearly, Steven Gerrard wants proven winners. He wants to take the profile of the age just that little bit higher if necessary, and get in winners. And my God, if this happens, he has got himself a serial winner. Of course, questions can be asked about whether Luis Suarez is a good bloke or not. We welcome JT to the club as long as he scores goals. You know, unfortunately, I think that's all that really matters. I think that's all the club cares about. But I mean, when you just strictly look at the football, this guy is one of the best number nines that has played in this generation of players. He's a wonderful striker. He's an absolute shithouse. He's someone who you just hated to play against, and is someone who you would just love to have on your side. Now, this Gerard Romero, he was streaming on Twitch, and that's where the news broke. Other outlets like the Telegraph, Goal, places like that have all picked it up and are reporting on the news as well. Apparently, this guy seems legit. Luis Erigorechi, I'd seen him share it as well, and he said that he it could well be legit. Obviously, Luis is in with like the likes of Fabrizio, so I'm sure this kind of thing will go, you know, sort of get banded about, and hopefully over the coming days we'll know if there is a bit more in this or not. One thing that was being misreported, though, this isn't a deal that would happen in January, as I mentioned at the top of this video. He's out of contract in the summer, which he's to sign Luis Suarez at any age for free. You would just be stupid to kind of turn your nose up at that. And we've been looking for quality in positions, and I think we're all crying out for a DM. We're all crying up for an additional centre back. But if this gets done, I'm not complaining, guys. I don't think we can. I think this kind of winning mentality, again, to reference that, is what this squad needs. A bit more ruthlessness on the pitch, which again, Luis Suarez quite clearly has in abundance. And yeah, I mean, it's just one of them ones. I can't believe that we're sat here talking about it. I do believe that Luis Suarez he was at one point an Adidas athlete, but I think now he's a Puma athlete. So if he can be lured back to Adidas, maybe that could help with Nassef and sort of attracting him. But if he's willing to turn down offers of, you know, I think these clubs are clearly going to offer him as much, if not more money, to go and play in their league. If he's rejecting that to come and play for Aston Villa, to come and challenge himself in the Premier League one last time, it's just amazing, and that tells you all you need to know about where Aston Villa is heading. The trajectory we are on as a football club is it's remarkable. And yeah, I'd love to know what you guys have to say on this transfer. So let us know in the comments section down below. Are you excited about this one? Do you have any reservations? We'd love to get a debate started in the comments. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, make sure you do and hit that bell button. That way you will never miss an update from us here at Heart of the Holte of the Villa.